It's Thursday and we meet each other again. The WIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The seas might be rough, but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Let Matthew and Rizzle guide us through. The speaker is ready and so are we. Let's keep sailing on the Metaverse. Thursdays when the lightning strikes. So listen up, there's a lot to learn. Keep the treasure in your sight. Please no one get the veggie draw. Just upgrade your microphone. Together we're strong, we ain't gonna stop. Welcome to the WIP Meetup.
Boom, there we go. Quick mic check. Sounding okay or sound like I'm in the veggie drawer? 10 out of 10, boom. Thank you, Paradox. A big shout out Fox Yoga, holding the pre-WIP DJ set down as always. Also, shout out Jaygotgame's computer setup. Audio sounded pretty good this week, so nice recovery from last week. This is Matthew, aka Nifty Time. My partner in crime, Rizzle, is over in Denver. He's like racing back to the hotel as we speak. He should be checking in right now, as he informed me a couple minutes ago. He may be a little bit late, so after Arden finishes their update, he'll probably jump in and give everyone all the updates. In the meantime, as I do every week, one chill. If you haven't yet, please check out the latest episode of the Matthew and Rizzle Show. Rizzle and I talk about a bunch of stuff, including some Lost X copies from back in the old Cent/Valuables days. Interesting story there. We have a bunch of other cool things that we're talking about, so make sure you check that out. Today we have a cool show. If you're not in Metaverse already, like myself, because my computer is loading and taking forever to load, we're in Fromoville. Check that out a little bit later. Jaygotgame has an update for us. Leading off the show, though, we have ArdonLukas, aka SW Cannon, is their Discord name. They have a big update for us, so they're going to be going first. Looks like Rizzle's butt is not here yet. So we're just going to pass the mic to Arden to get started. I think they're going to screen share. So when they turn their mic on, make sure you follow them after they turn their screen share function on. And there he is. So without further ado, let's get into the WIP today. Arden, welcome, sir. Unmute and take it away.
You got it. How's my mic, y'all?
Nice and crispy.
Beautiful. So it's been about a year since I actually first showed this off. I thought that it was going to go a lot quicker, but basically this has been one of these projects where I always try and have something that is pushing and testing my actual creative capabilities, my ability to do digital art, a little bit about myself, and I really actually didn't realize how relevant even my brand was to this Discord. But some may know of Shirt Was Cash. We're kind of the first brand to ever print memes on clothes. I started that with a bunch of shit posting in 2014. We kind of dominated Reddit and 4chan and some other things for about 4 years before saturation of like shirt posts on Reddit became a thing. And so we've actually always been user submitted, user voted, user community voting. I'll go ahead and switch to to my screen since there's some tie over here actually. Let's see. I'm not seeing my browser. New moment. All right, I guess I'll skip that. But basically I got it. Okay, boomer. All right. So just a little background. We started in 2014. I guess I kind of started it from a laptop in my bedroom. I was actually doing a Bitcoin startup at that point, and I was way too early. I was trying to leave my corporate job. So basically, I wanted to make Coinbase for casinos. The only really like successful companies at that point in 2013, 2014 had been like online gambling. So it kind of made sense to be a clearinghouse between players coming in and their Bitcoin. But at the end of that, I kind of stumbled into just leveraging memes on clothes and taking it from there. So the thing that I've been working on now, I started in the end of 2020, was basically this super awesome futuristic cloak. And before I started this, I had no experience with 3D, creating anything in 3D print. It also tested the like techno manufacturing capabilities of what we do here. In that, basically, the cool thing. So when I first was on here showing it off, I had completed the actual cut for the most part that you see here. And I have it in real life next to me. But I'd created the cut, but we didn't have... I had actually also gotten the 3D mock-up. So I thought I was ready. But actually streamlining the whole process from design, literally design. So I'll switch my screen up a little bit. Let's see. So basically, like this was mid 21 that I was messing with this Rizzle face, the Avastar, and just taking cues from that project and the stuff that Rizzle's involved in. I wanted to do something cool with him. I knew that he would rock something as loud as like these cloaks are. And so we decided to make a Rizzle cloak. And we only ever got one out because although I was able to like sample it, the actual streamlining of a garment that's this complicated, since I think I have my camera on too. So here's one of our, I can actually show this on, I was just showing it on the website. So we got this on the website. This is fully designed generally in like Photoshop, and then I streamline. This is what I've been working on the last 6 months or so. Streamlining the actual design through the end garment and the 3D mock-up. Originally, I wanted to make it wearable in virtual reality. So that's kind of what inspired the 3D mock-up side of it. But as a lot of you in the Rizzle sphere know that wearables and standards around wearables in VR is a complicated, like not very easy plug and play sort of thing right now. So we're kind of still on the frontier in that way, in that we're ready for that. But like a standardized version of getting it into the metaverse, whatever metaverses those are, would be sweet. So this is the most complex garment I've ever made. It's even crazier than this windbreaker that I'm wearing is. This hood is like this assassin style hood. Hopefully you can see the profile there. Absolutely freaking massive. Drapes way over your face, way over your head. It has this like really cool front scoop which I took inspiration from sort of like anime or even things you just sort of see in like RPGs and stuff as inspo on it. And then this whole left side is one tag, and I have full print capabilities over this one. So it's the top coat on this one. It has a QR code here that scans to anywhere that we want. I've also played with scannable RFID chips. I have those here, over there behind the camera, that we have not integrated yet. But also another sew-in tag on the side. This motherfucker took me... Is that okay if I cuss? This took me so long. So every time I thought I had it, there was always another step involved, which is kind of what made this so much fun. But I would get to a point that was at the end of my technical ability, and then just have to like... I couldn't go any further. I'd push like my capabilities in 3D and automation, things like that. Learn new things, but then kind of chill on it. So I guess one thing I'm here to report now is I can fully design these things in Photoshop front. I have them streamlined to these online libraries. So all I do is upload or save these files here on my Photoshop. And this is how it was when I was thought I was pretty done with it about 4 or 5, or not done, but like ready to launch it 4 or 5 months ago. It's kind of all over the place. You can see in like the hood, there's some random artifacting. Like these colors don't really match. I didn't really have control over it like I would have wanted to. Another, this one still got printed, so maybe Rizzle can show that off sometime. We also did one for Sandy's Avastar, which this one looks freaking retro and dope, super dope. I would say like what's interesting about how I had created this originally was that it would sort of take colors and objects from the NFT or the graphic and artifact it, repurpose it, and then place it. So you kind of got like the vibe of what her Avastar was, probably still is. And it just kind of like does this abstract retro thing with it. That's where it was though, and I didn't have control over really how it was printing. So here's the final. Can't get that to go. All right. So, but here's the final. So this is true to print. Whatever I create in Photoshop, however I place it in here, this is going straight through to the cuts we've made. So I guess to show off another level of like why this was so freaking complicated is so these are 3 sizes. You have XL, 2XL, 3XL. All this is streamlining now through those online saves. But each garment, so just one size, has an inside hood, two cuts, outside hood, 2 cuts, that's 4. Sleeves, that's another 2, that's 6. Front, it has a zip, so it needs to be split. That's another 2, that's 8. These pockets, I always try and do pizza pockets. So when you, I did pizza pockets on these ones though. I was trying to do pizza pockets, something fun in there, something to discover when you actually receive the garment. But so I mean, just this one garment has 16, 12 different cuts. Times it by every size. This goes up to 3X or 4XL. So that's the actual print. So we created these cuts. This is like the actual hood. Anyone who does actual like One of the cool things that I learned here is that the actual mapping of your video game characters' clothes or like these 3D models are generally the same cuts. So the cuts that we normally play with in the physical realm, transition was fairly simple to flow, fairly simple. I mean, it was hard, dude. But generally, it was obvious that we could take those cuts and flow it through the garment. This is easiest to see with Minecraft skins. So like look up Minecraft skins if you kind of want to see just the most basic level of like what a character wrap is doing. I'd be curious with the on-chain chain. I'm sure had similar obstacles, but basically I have this fully wrapped. So I'm hoping I can do a simple ta-da moment right now. Another challenge here, and I guess I'll maybe move over to some Q&A, or I can talk about some other aspects of just NFTs, where we're heading, maybe how I see it. I've been around since 2013. But the other challenge was, okay, I have this graphic now, and how do I get it on the website, let alone how do I make it 3D? So there are a handful of ways to make 3D. I'm not going to really go into that. I didn't code anything for it. I just output it to be able to do this. But one of the challenges was just having all the frames to make it so silky smooth and turn around. But then also it's like you want standard mock-ups. You want like set directions that you can show off a garment that you're working with. So I learned how to place cameras. So we got this front shot, side profile, back, sides, so on. And then this was much harder than I expected, but the silky smooth, cool looking little spiral. So that was the last thing that I really did. There's some other areas I could automate, will automate at some point, but I've kind of hit like the end of my capabilities again with this. So I reached out to Rizzle. We had that Rizzle cloak that needs some upgraded branding, get some influence, and potentially making a cloak that is back and actually available to more people to wear, to buy, and what have you. So I guess I'll drop in general. What up? I see Rizzle. What I could keep going and kind of go off on tangents, but is there any sort of feedback or questions that might have arisen? Feel free to just unmute yourself. I don't know how it works, but
dude, this is like a little bit of a haphazard whip for me. Can someone confirm you can hear me? I'm like in East Denver and was like running here, like flying here in an Uber in the last second. Y'all can hear?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, dude, it all worked. Yay. And I got here to hear your thing and everything. I got here like right at the beginning. Dude, I have like my little intro that I'll give like when you're done and before JJ hops on. But normally we route questions through show and who sort of keeps an eye on the chat and queues things up and everything. So maybe now's a good time to pass it over to show and see if anyone had any questions coming through.
Yo, show.
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
What up, brother?
So, this is a lot of detail, and it was pretty inspiring to listen to. What motivates you to be so creative?
Fuck, man. Angst, existential angst. I mean, honestly, like it's a blessing when you do have that sort of vision that you can't let go. So typically, I would say any ideas that I actually follow, it takes me about a year and a half, 2 years of kicking in the back of my head for me to actually act on it. Some of that's ADHD, but also it's just sort of like a filtration process. The fact that this cloak never felt resolved was a thing. And part of what didn't feel resolved about it was every time I would hit this break, because I never done 3D modeling, I've never done texture mapping, I've never done any of this stuff. And so you can imagine actually opening up Blender, starting to watch YouTube videos, and just playing with it and getting aggravated and kind of getting to a point where, okay, this is good enough. So the last time that I showed this off, which is this Rizzle cloak, I might have to show the Sandy one. We didn't print this, but I mean, it's just, I mean, this thing is freaking sick. But I didn't have a way to take it now from this 3D model, because this is this is more generative than me making it right now in Photoshop and it flowing through. So maybe there's a generative step that could happen here. But I didn't have an easy way to take it from what we see here through print on our printers. And so, that was sort of a point where I just gave up again. But then it's a true testament of like, this is just like one of those artistic passion itches that I had to just come back again. And it's like the hero's journey, right? I got the dragon. I defeated some dragons, maybe some dragonlings, but the dragon had not been slain.
That's awesome. And pardon me for giving you a yes or no answer right now, but would you say that your process is the most effective way towards doing like this and doing something like this for other people? And if not, what would you recommend?
So I'm going to kind of tap into just my work with artists. I've worked with tons of artists over the last 9 years now of this apparel company. And I probably, after a few years in, I stopped trying to tell artists, or not really tell, but like tell artists that I work with how to do things, or even almost give construction feedback. I almost don't, unless I'm asked, maybe. But I actually try to not affect other artists' process in hopes to see what they do and where they go with it. What would be most effective? It's like, what are you trying to accomplish? That would be first. I will say, though, that it's okay to find your place in this industry, in your creative path, in your creative career. And there's a spectrum between like marketer and genius artist. There's like this the less of a genius artist you are, the more you have to market. It's not exactly that way, but it's actually not bad. So we all want to be the genius artists until we're flying off the deep end like Kanye or whatever.
Yo, Arden,
Yeah.
Hey man, I just want to jump in. There's a bunch of people who are trying to hop in, but we're like maxed out on the voice channel because you're live streaming. So would it be possible to either not live stream for now, or just like screen share when you want to show something, and that way like more people can hop in and hear it? Because we're maxed out, man. Too many people want to see your shit.
Yeah, I got good aesthetics. Should I turn off my actual video, or it's just the live stream?
Yeah, I think it's the live stream specifically. Screen share, anyone can get in, but for whatever reason, live stream only handles 25 people.
Okay, cool. Yeah, not a problem. But so basically, like, just one of the challenges is just like where.
I think you gotta click out of the whatever you're doing. What do you got on the camera?
I got the camera on.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go. Now in theory, so now in theory, if you wanted to screen share something, any amount of people can get in, but people were having a hard time getting into the voice channel to hear you because for some reason the live camera maxes out at 25 people.
Oh,
Anyway,
weird.
thank you, man.
All right. Yeah, no worries. I guess next question, or like follow up on where I was going with that.
Hello, I'm Arjen here. And I wanted to ask what was his difficulty to realize the second, the more bluish kind of cyberpunky version of the code into textile. It is a matter of finding the correct textiles for that kind of reflections, for example, or what is the challenge that you are finding to make, for example, the black and white one, the first one that you show it, more accessible than the other one that it has maybe a material that is more complicated to find or to recreate in real life?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge, so we use a print method called sublimation printing, and then we do cut and sew. So it's sort of one challenge after another, and you kind of got to start with what you have. So my background, I knew how to actually do the apparel. This cloak pushed that to its limit, which gives birth to other products like this windbreaker I'm wearing right now is actually super sick, but was way easier after doing that cloak. So I'd say like the biggest challenge is just pushing to the limits of where you're currently at and not too far past it, where you can actually overcome the challenges ahead of you. Maybe sometimes put the project in the drawer for a little bit and bring it back up if you really want to see it completed. In terms of the actual like fabrics, the fabric choice for things that I've already sourced before. If you were to source fabrics, I would leverage people like me or realistically manufacturers as localized as possible. I think there's something to say about localization with working on actually like feeling the materials. How hard is it to actually feel the materials, see it in real life? So just leveraging other people's expertise to the extent that you can. So these are like manufacturers, cut and sew houses, sublimation printers. They have the more complex experience, especially if we're talking about America and probably Europe. And then I would like the hardest part for me was just getting a design to flow through to the 3D model and our manufacturing. Now, the next challenge, I guess, in the future, especially once there's a standard, is going to be like turning into a wearable, because that was the original plan. I originally was selling things last year with a token, almost it was like a ERC 711, so I forget which contract, but basically these tokens that could be redeemed for future updates and things like that. But there's just really not a standard for us to do that with. And I think once we see that metaverse arrive, it'll flag to me it might be ready to like take it to that next level.
Also, does it matter where I'm importing my assets from? Because I know when I was working on Premiere, having that like above.
Nope. I don't know if she's talking to me. She's doing something cool though. She's got that third eye.
No, sorry. Please disregard. Please mute your microphones, y'all. Thank you.
Yo, any questions? Could even be more broad than just the cloak, but yeah, I'm happy. Like, where are you all at? Do we have creatives in here? Are you guys trying to figure out how to merchandise or create something that's 3D or?
This is actually a great question, man. Like, who are all these people? I would say a hodgepodge of Web3, NFT, Metaverse enthusiasts, pioneers, builders who have largely been around for a very, very long time. And then there's Flyfrog, just a humble amphibian artist.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess just tapping on that, just sort of a reminder how early this still is. Like we're obviously in that sort of phase where it's kind of nice that the noise isn't there, but the hype and energy isn't quite there, and so just this area is where a lot of future like cool creative projects and successes and futures are going to be born. Crypto's not going away, NFTs aren't going away, and just refining your skill sets in whichever path that is, and putting the work in where you can, drinking that caffeine, stay motivated on things. I mean, I've seen this so many times. It's just another cycle, really. So just pushing through. People in here, it's like relationships are so key. So the fact that people are actually showing up and hopefully meeting people, like that's really what matters. I mean, you have like AI has all the hype right now, which AI is cool, is cool stuff going on. But AI doesn't have a Discord of people actually like collaborating. It's like destroying artists' careers more. Well, I see it more as a tool on the artist side, but like, you know, it's not really a super collaborative thing like the ethos of crypto and art is. So just like there's so much actually here. I think it can be easy to not see it. Cool, guys. I guess I will, unless there's any other questions, feel free to drop in, but I'll pass the mic. And dude, I appreciate the opportunity to show this off. I mean, one of my goals this year has been to be less remote. That might be really Web3 people might come after me with pitchforks with that goal, but I've been remote for a long time. And just part of that is being able to like show off the things that I create. So whether it's in real life, which obviously I can wear this stuff, but hopefully in the future with the metaverse and things like that, it won't necessarily just be showing off in a Discord of like frontiers, cool hipster people like me. But we can also be wearing the stuff in the world together, and I look forward to that. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Arden. If anyone else has any other questions, tag them in the channel. But that was pretty dope to see. And I think with this, I don't know if anyone else is having any other issues loading Monaverse. I'm still like waiting for the paint to dry. But with that, I know JJ is in the house. So JJ, if you want to unmute and take it away for folks that are in Monaverse, please enjoy the lush world that is Fromoville. And JJ can take it away.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for we always love hosting you guys here. I think my builder Benny Garcia is in the Fromobile space right now, and if everybody wants to like give some claps or some I think you can do emojis and stuff now in Mona as well. Sorry you're having a little bit of trouble loading it in. It might be because we're literally breaking every rule that we can with this space and trying to just, oh, there's some avocados. Those are for Benny. Benny, you're getting avocados. But yeah, I mean, this has just been a huge passion project for myself and Benny, and a way to do awesome stuff like this. You know, it's always fun to see how you guys come in and hop around Fromoville, because it's what we built it for. You know, obviously to show off some of my work and my legacy as an artist. Like, I've got all kinds of crazy projects in here and want to keep linking things through. But yeah, it's super fun. And also, I don't know if you saw the tweet, but this is obviously a Bob Ross inspired metaverse from my Happy Little Hairdos project. And Rizzle tagged me on a AI Frog Ross that Frog Ross that, oh my God, there's a Pepe in here now. This is getting intense. But tagged me on a AI generated Bob Ross as a frog that he did, and I was just like so enamored by it and loved it. So I did a sketch of it, and if you can find it on the tweet. I've tagged the WIP, I've tagged Rizzle, and if you go to Bob Ross Parody on Twitter, that's where the main tweet comes from. But anyway, I did it. I redrew it on Procreate and made it into basically a coloring book version. The background is a painting of mine that I did along with Bob Ross. You can find it in the gallery here in Fromoville. It's the first oil painting that I did like as an adult, because I'm an artist, but I've never really done landscapes or oil painting. But in the summer of 21, when I started on this project, I did this oil painting, my first one along with Bob as an adult, because I tried as a kid and failed. But anyway, that's the background. It figures into the collection in a really crazy way. But the idea is it's a coloring book contest. So if you want to, in the comments, I left the image, so you could probably right click and save it, or just screenshot it or something, and either print it out. Printing it, this would be super dope. If you print it out, I'm gonna give you extra points for sure. If you print it out and color it with fucking crayons, you get like extra credit. But otherwise, what we want you to do is just color it and then leave an image in the comments on that post, and whoever gets the most likes, comments, shares are going to you're going to win something special. I've got an idea of already what my contribution is going to be, but I think Rizzle might have a little something too. So it's just super fun. And yeah, that's about it. Like I said, anytime you guys want, we're glad to have you. You can crash Fromoville 24/7 as long as it loads for you. Sorry that it's not for you right now for some people. And then last thing I want to say is there is a guest book that I have on the back of the gallery wall. So if you go into the backside of the big building in the main street.
I was going to ask you, man, is it possible for you to like lead the people who are able to get in there now to the guest book, and then maybe
sure.
we can like do a
that'd be super dope.
Yeah,
yeah,
if there's like a good spot for like Paradox to do a group shot or something like that, like, you know, feel free to take us there afterwards, or maybe that's a good spot in itself.
I think probably either we've done it by the stage a few times. We could probably go by the Bob statue again. But if anybody is in the Monaverse right now and you're following, I just left the stage area. So if you kind of follow me back around this way, just to the back side of this building here in the main street, you're going to find a link to the guest book. You just got to look at it and click on it. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you to, hopefully it's still there. Oh yeah, it's still there. I think, yeah. So if you click on that and you click view this artifact, it's going to take you to a tweet. And on that tweet, you can just kind of leave a comment, sign, say you've visited Fromoville. And that's going to be a tweet that is always linked to that guest book. So whenever people come in, they can, view that, and it'll be a persistent tweet. And maybe in 5 years' time, it'll be the most commented on tweet in history. But definitely in the history of guest books on the Metaverse, probably. But that brings me to the last thing I wanted to say. I left it in the chat, Rizzle. Next time we do this, I'll come up with a way where we can have kind of a persistent guestbook log, so that way we can link your document on, I think, what is it, a Google Doc or something for your guestbook?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you just give me that link, and then what I'll do is I'll just find a spot to where we can put it and leave it up there. So then, I mean, obviously you can still post it through the channels like you normally do, but it would be cool to have it as a spot to where people kind of can just click on it and find it right there. You know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, I mean, I'm good to go for whatever. Paradox. Actually, it'd be kind of cool if we went inside the gallery. I don't know if you can get a wide enough shot inside of the gallery with all the Bob images in here to have us all inside here. It might be a little bit too tight of a space, but I'd say wherever Paradox says we go, that's where we go to get a good shot. I don't know if Paradox is on mic or anything, but
I am. Should we do this thing?
there he is. What's up, brother?
Is this a good time?
Always good to see you, man. Yeah.
I missed you in Paris, man.
Oh,
I know
dude. I'll get there
Cool.
at some point.
Sweet. Should we do this thing? Should we do our first time now? What do you reckon? Or we got a couple other bits to wrap up, Rizzle? What do you reckon?
Why don't we do the group shot? I can give my updates at the end, and then we'll pass it over to show.
Excellent. Cool. In which case, Dragon 8, you need to do the thing, sir.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
I could Dragon 8. One of these days you might not, but until then, you're gonna. So, alright, cool. If you've not been listening, I am Paradox. I'm the resident WIP videographer. And if you're new to the WIP, I edit together a recap video of these events every single week. And you can catch these videos on Rizzle's Twitter, so keep an eye out for those. Okay, cool. So this is the part of the show where we do a group photo and get a little bit of video. Let's do a really easy one this week. So if everyone is in world, I think we're going to gather near the Happy Little Hairdo's 10K collection curated cut gallery. Which is there anyone left at the stage, or is there any stragglers? If you are near the stage, I'm going to run over. I am a watermelon, and I'm gonna grab you. So let's have a look. We've got a Brooke Cook, we've got a show, we've got guest 41. Right, guys, let's all make our way over to the main building, please. Let's go around the back. Dragon 8, do you want to kick off some music kind of low for now, whilst everyone gets in place? That'd be cool. And whilst you do that, I'm going to talk at you some more. So, guys, come everybody into the back building, please. And let's have a look. So, what else have I got to talk about? If you press the C key, you get like a wheel pop up, and you can do some dance moves and stuff. And if you press the Z key, you get a box comes up with a whole bunch of emojis. So, kind of throw them up and experiment with them. Let's have a look. I think that's nearly everybody. Last chance, Brooke Hook. Last chance, Pepe. Okay, cool. Let's do this thing. Okay, pump the music. Everybody else, throw your emojis up. I'm gonna do some recording. Okay, one more shot, then I'm done. Excellent. Thank you very much, Dragonite. Awesome. That is it from me today. Guys, whoever's in Denver, enjoy yourself. Paris was awesome, but you guys are on the front lines now to do some awesome NFT shit. So, until next week, I will catch you then. Cheers.
Boom. Grizzle, you want to take it away with your update, dude?
Yes. Yo, Matt, appreciate you holding it down for me. I'm a little like discombobulated, so bear with me if my updates are a bit scattered, and I'll try to keep it short and pass it over to show for the afties. For those of you who know, I've been in ETH Denver, and in my head, the conference started today, and I got this media pass, and I was just gonna go over there, get my media pass, check it out for an hour, and then like come back and do the WIP. And then I ended up standing in line for like 2 hours to get this media pass, but I did it, and I got a little access thingy that I can swipe on some stuff or something that I didn't even get a chance to check out because I was like Ubering back to do the thing with y'all. So if you want to catch what I'm doing in ETH Denver, I'm trying to like investigate some cool Metaverse stuff, and already ran into a bunch of cool people that you all know, excuse me, including Trizlet and Kuroki and Blackheart Honeymoon, who I'm trying to also get to Rizzlefest. Speaking of which, we've got like 28 now people coming to Rizzlefest 420 in Tennessee. Mostly people who everyone here knows, and it honestly seems like something would have to go tragically wrong in order for it not to go like really well at this point and be really fun. So public ticket sales are live. I won't like beat you all down with the details, but if you're interested in coming, would obviously love to have you. So check out my pinned tweet if you are interested in that kind of stuff. It's carbon neutral. Actually, I was trolling Ben Nolan, and he was like, if your conference is like carbon neutral, we may consider it. And I'm like, bro, half these people are sleeping in tents. And so he may send someone to Rizzlefest, as it turns out. So don't ask. Let's see. What else? Shout out to Patrizio and Fabiano, as always. Everyone who signed the guest book this week is getting the Fit Plant, which is really awesome. So if you weren't able to get in world and sign the guest book, hit me up in a DM and I'll make sure you get that. So you get the Fit Plant for showing up and hanging out with us today. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's about everything. Really appreciate you all holding it down for me. In case you didn't hear in the beginning, we are shameless and broke and accept all donations for our like weird metaverse public broadcasting thing we got going on here. So if you donate to the WIPmeetup.eth, it goes to the crew. If you hit up Matt, we're like 169 weeks now, still no rug. So it's safe. Shout out to everyone who makes this happen week in and week out. We do this because we love it. Sandy Meows, it's Carolina Duh, Foxy Yoga, Easy, Paradox Show, Dragonate, Conwolf the Stowaway, Brokeoff the Chef, Fabiano, Patricia, Johan, Matthias, and of course Matt for holding it down. Is the WIP carbon neutral? I don't know. We're like burning up laptops like all over the world every week. So we don't have to go anywhere to do that. So I would say it's a rub. Thanks everybody for coming out today. Matt, unless you got anything, man, we can pass it over to show for the afties. And if you're in ETH Denver, hit me up. I don't know what I'm doing after this, but I'm going bowling with Token Smart and like Trizlet and a bunch of people we know later tonight. So that should be dope. Matt, anything else?
Nah, man, that's it. I hope you enjoyed Denver. Anyone else that's there, definitely hit him up. He's got a crazy amount of swag that he's been showing off. So take all the swag. And then, show, man. If you're ready, take it away. After we get that intro song.
Is this thing on?
Yeah! It's
opinions, thoughts. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, fam? Awesome, thank you. Hey, WIP fam. I'm gonna forego my usual psychotic diatribe full of important and useful information to give you a chance to think about everything that was given to you since January 1st. And also to leave you with one important thing. It's March. I hate March. I hate February and January too. I hate this season. But it's March. So please, today, start doing your crypto taxes. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming through to the WIP. Thank you to the entire leadership team here at meme.com. Shout out to the WIP crew. You know I love each and every single one of you. Last but not least, WIP fam. Think about what I just said and everything else that I've told you over the past couple of weeks. Again, it's March, and I hate March. Okay? Much love, and I'll see you later.